Welcome to the Personal Pension Radio Podcast, where it's all about helping you complete your financial journey to retirement. Discover time-tested strategies and get unconventional insights into wealth building and retirement that actually work. Break away from the herd and go for the retirement you dream of. And now, here's your host, the income engineer, Kraig Strom.
All right, back on Personal Pension Radio. So excited to continue this podcast journey with you. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the reviews, the feedback. Thank you for those who are patient out there as the iTunes snafu was solved. It took 2 or 3 weeks to finally get iTunes to basically say there was nothing wrong with my podcast, but they took it down anyway. So back up and running. Please share it out with your friends. And if you haven't already done so, join the crowd of folks who have left a review on iTunes. Leave a positive review if you can. If you have a negative review to leave, by all means, send me an email before you do so and let me know how I can improve the show. I am Kraig Strom, as you heard, the income engineer, broadcasting from the Personal Pension Radio Workshop here in Southern California. Yes, actually in my wood shop in the backyard. My mission, and I have chosen to accept it, is to work on that retirement dream that Wall Street promised, but they just don't get you all the way there. Mainstream financial advice is lacking retirement income focus. And I want to help you ask the right questions. I want to help you be prepared for that retirement income conversation you've either need to have, been wanting to have, or should have had a long time ago. Hopefully you can get yours going right now. If you want to talk to me about it, you can always send me an email, Kraig with a K, at kraigstrom.com. Kraig with a K at kraigstrom, STROM.com. Retirement income planning does not happen by chance. It is not solved by a product. IRAs, 401ks, and various things like that, investments in real estate, none of them by themselves actually accomplish maximum lifestyle income. It is designed, hence the engineer title. It is designed, folks, and I hope you catch that as we go through the conversation and as you've listened to this show. I want to jump right in, but always I have to remember, quick disclosure, I am not an attorney. I am not a CPA. I am a certified financial planner professional. And as cool as my little Amazon discount priced microphone makes me sound, please don't act on advice or things that you hear as if it were advice for you. Meet with a qualified financial planner. Don't take advice from financial entertainers on the radio or TV or podcast. Meet with a qualified financial planner. Discuss your personal situation in detail before you actually act on anything. That's the way you're going to make sure that you don't actually make a big, huge mistake. Now, quick shout out to listener and client Jay in Los Angeles. Really appreciate it. Had the opportunity actually to talk to Jay today on the day that I was getting ready to record this episode. Had a update phone call with Jay, and he had a conversation at work with the retirement advisor that comes in for where he works. So Jay is a teacher in California, blessed to participate in the California State Teachers Retirement System, CalSTRS. CalSTRS, if you didn't know it, is the best teacher pension in the United States. It's crazy good. Now, sadly, the only other real retirement program offered through most schools and school districts is an annuity-based 403B plan. Now, I'm a big fan of guaranteed annuity, but they are not always the right choice, and they're not usually, in my opinion, the right choice for young people, right? Investment accounts, such as 401ks, will most certainly grow larger than a guaranteed annuity. For older participants in their 50s, for example, guaranteed annuity can be an excellent way to put a wrapper, a fence, a security blanket around retirement money so that it will never lose. Even if the market falls apart, guaranteed annuity doesn't fall apart. And yet for young people, I think it's just unfortunate that in most cases that young teachers don't have access through work to an investment-based deferral vehicle such as a 401k. Now, because the Cali pension system is dominated by insurance company focused products such as annuities, it is inevitable that a teacher like Jay will also be pitched other insurance company products. Sure enough, Jay told me that he was recently pitched on the great wonder, the most amazing financial thing ever, indexed universal life. Those of you who've listened to this show, you've heard me talk about it on the show before. Indexed universal life insurance is a type of life insurance where the cash value component is connected to a stock market index. It is not investments, it is just referencing an index. And yet, it is sold as if it is the greatest thing ever. It's the most amazing. It's better than any retirement account. It's better than a 403b. Heck, it's better than anything Wall Street has to offer. Better than real estate. It's the best. Total hogwash. Absolutely total hogwash. Now, my take on indexed universal life. There is a reason for it. I have certain cases going with clients right now that I am actually considering indexed universal life based products to solve their particular need. Now, it's used as a life insurance vehicle, and it just happens to be indexed universal life. The sales pitch that Jay heard and that so many people hear is that indexed universal life is the best investment ever. It is not. It is absolutely not. There are so many nuances to indexed universal life that when you really understand the actual net internal rate of return on these policies 5 and 10 years down the road, it's shocking how much money just magically disappears. And where does that money go? Yeah, fees. It goes to fees that are buried in these supposedly guaranteed amazing products. Remember, I believe that there is a point for indexed universal life, for regular universal life. I'm a big fan of whole life insurance, but dang it, why would it be pitched? It's so sad that it's pitched to somebody as young as Jay is, that it's the greatest thing you should focus on. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A good solid investment in, let's say, real estate or, the stock market in general, in the long run is going to be better. There are other ways to have life insurance death benefit and other ways to use cash value life insurance that I believe are much more appropriate in a long-term thought process. Now, again, shout out to Jay. Thanks for giving me that rant to start the show. Now, I do have a deal of the week. A deal of the week sad story. Yes, sad story. I actually have purchased recently several cars for my car dealership. Those of you who listen to the show, you know that I have a hobby as a crazy car guy, which means I also have a car dealership license. Might as well go full-blown crazy. So I bought 4 cars recently. These are really basic cars. Great, car, for example, for your college kid, because you could say, hey, Mom and Dad, this car already has dents in the door, right? It already has a dent here and there and has a little scratch there, right? That's the kind of cars that I do like to buy, in addition to a few really nice ones now and then that kind of meet that more sports car classification. But recently I purchased a used Ford Fusion. And I am just amazed as I drive this car how much I bought it for. I have it for sale right now, less than $14,000. It has good mileage, every single convenience feature that I want, including the most important feature I think that every car should have in Southern California, air-conditioned seats. That's my favorite thing ever, right? So here I am with this Ford Fusion. Now, it is a hybrid, so it gets fantastic gas mileage. What I did not notice when I bought it through the auction is that it did not disclose that it was missing the charger cable. So my deal of the week this week is to tell you to be patient when you're looking for a deal. I am the worst when it comes to being patient on things. So looking for a deal, in this case, I should have been more patient because I did some quick searches on Craigslist and eBay, and the battery charger for this Ford Fusion was $325. And then I saw one, I found one, I was trying to be patient. I found one for $250. And then I found one for $150. Well, I got excited. I wasn't too far away from the $150 seller, so I messaged him on the Offer Up app, and I drove over there and bought it for $150. So I'm all excited that I went from $325 to $250 to $150. I am a rock star, right? I got all excited. Now, I got home later that day, and my little Offer Up app was still open, and I just kind of looked at it, and I realized that not far from where I live, there was the exact same charger available for $90. $90. So had I been just about 1 hour more patient, I would have noticed that one for $90 and then saved an additional, giant chunk of money, right? So what I'm saying on this week's Deal of the Week is be patient. If it's not an emergency that you have it tomorrow, hang on. It'll probably be cheaper in 60 minutes. And then finally, thank you to listener and friend Gary, who's recently moved. He moved off to Texas, but left behind some furniture that he was going to just give away. And it actually was something that I looked at and realized it would fit. One of his pieces would fit really well in my wood shop. And I now have a new in-feed table. This is a table that works with my my big giant table saw, so I can run long pieces of wood and boards through my table saw. I just modified Gary's old dining room table, and I now have an awesome in-feed table for my workshop for free. I love that. All right. Now, segment 1 in my show has been, since I started, a segment called Watch Your Step. And this week, I'm actually going to incorporate that into a personal observation from a client conversation that I had recently, a couple of them actually, that I'm going to incorporate the whole Watch Your Step idea into the actual meat of today's episode. Last week, if you didn't already listen to it, or last episode, please go back and listen to this idea that please don't get sucked into doomsday financial prognostications. This idea that the dollar will go to zero and you must invest in gold or chinchillas, right? I don't know what it is about chinchillas. I've never actually held a chinchilla, but I always have used that as my extreme, ridiculous example of an investment, right? Let's go invest in chinchilla farms or something, right? Because the dollar's going to go to zero. Please take a listen to that episode, at least get an alternate perspective on this doomsday idea before you get sucked into that, okay? Now, I want to definitely touch on this under the Watch Your Step category. freeze your credit, folks. I heard this again from a banker recently who gave a talk in a business meeting about security and bank fraud and identity theft and everything else. And he tells a story to help you understand how this stuff happens when it comes to stealing your identity. People are out there on Facebook. They're out there on the internet, whether you like it or not. Oftentimes you're on social media or you're on the internet somewhere and you may not even realize it. Well, you've got entire groups of people out there, nefarious individuals that will scrub through your social media or your kids' social media or your brother-in-law's social media, and they'll find information about you and the family, and they find little pieces. They'll find a piece about you on a website article for your company. Then they'll find a piece about you on a Facebook post that your daughter-in-law posted. They'll find little bits of information, and the next thing you know, they're contacting your bank or a store credit card company, and they're using and putting all of these pieces of information together to steal your identity, to steal money from your bank, right? So freezing your credit is one of those big lines of defense that you can put in place. It's easy. It's totally free. You just simply click, and in a matter of 15 minutes or less, you've frozen out your credit accounts so that people can't get a job at a chicken farm in Tennessee. They can't open a credit card. They can't get a loan for a house or a car, right, in your name. Freezing your credit is one of those lines of defense that you have. If you'd like the links on how to or where to go to freeze your credit with the 3 credit bureaus, send me an email, Kraig@kraigstrom.com, subject line freeze. And I'll just quickly send you back the links to the 3 credit sites that you can easily freeze your credit. Thawing your credit, super easy, super easy. I'm going to be updating my home mortgage loan stuff, and I need to thaw my credit. And that's easy. You can go in and thaw your credit for 24 hours and boom, just run your credit report and then it'll freeze back up again 24 hours later. It's super easy to do. Now, in segment 2, I like to cover listener or client questions and my personal observations. The last show, I went over in detail how financial planners get paid. So if you've ever wondered how financial planners get paid and what's the right way and what's this and what's that, go back and listen to that episode. There's at 193 there on how financial planners and financial advisors get paid. Now, this episode, I want to give you an update on my Apple Watch and 2 IRA questions that came in. So the Apple Watch is the first one. I had talked about it a few episodes ago that I purchased life insurance through John Hancock's Vitality Program, and John Hancock's Vitality Program is connected to an Apple Watch offer. So here's how it works. I get term life insurance from John Hancock. It's actually really affordable, very competitive price, good product. I added a little extra. Now, I did not need to add a lot of term insurance. I have millions of dollars of life insurance to protect my wife and my daughter. I've got a lot of life insurance, so I don't have to buy more life insurance. However, I really wanted to try out this Vitality Apple Watch program. So I purchased a small term life insurance policy from John Hancock, and I was immediately eligible through the Vitality Program to get an Apple Watch 4. This is the new version that has the EKG built into the crown and the whole deal. It's very cool, very cool. And if I stay active, I am a healthy, active kind of person. If I continue to stay active, the Apple Watch will go from $15 a month down to now, currently, my Apple Watch is now $12.50 a month. And if I continue, I only have about 540 points left because you get points for healthy activity and for doing various things on the Vitality website and such. You can actually get your Apple Watch down for free. You can get the Apple Watch included, basically discounted down for free based on your activity. You can even get things like your Amazon Prime membership for free if you earn enough points and you keep doing your stuff. It's actually really cool. I got my daughter one as well, and she's actually gotten excited, and she started using the Vitality program also with a policy that I got for her. Now, the whole idea here is life insurance is not what it used to be. Life insurance, most people think, is always expensive, but actually the prices have come down a lot, and insurance companies are looking for different ways to make it valuable and to make it exciting and interactive and more millennial friendly, so hence the Apple Watch, right? I love this tech, but I would never buy it unless I had a chance like this to get it for free or nearly free. I mean, heck, today I earned 50 points just by watching a food nutrition video and taking a little 3-question quiz. There's another 50 points, right? If you're interested in updating your life insurance, and if you'd like to see if you can beat me to the free Apple Watch level, send me an email. Kraig@kraigstrom.com, Kraig@kraigstrom.com, and say Vitality in your subject line, Vitality, and I'll know that you're interested in getting your life insurance updated and getting yourself an Apple Watch 4 and being able to tell your friends, hey, check out my new Apple Watch. I got it with my life insurance, and this guy Kraig on this podcast, he can help you get one too, right? Love it. Now, the next two pieces I want to cover are actually IRA questions and IRA things that came up recently from clients and from connections and people who were introduced to me. And this goes with what I said earlier. Watch your step. So let me take you through this, okay? A new couple was introduced to me by their CPA, their certified public accountant. They needed help improving their retirement income numbers. Right? They had done their own retirement estimates, and then they went to an investment advisor. Now, I don't recommend it that way, but it's always good when folks are involved in the process. But that's what they did. They did their own, and then they went to see an investment advisor. Now, they have a rental property and a nice-sized 401k balance, and that's where I want to focus. When they went to see the investment advisor, they had already calculated their retirement income based on a simple growth calculation. They had also used IRA distribution calculators that they found on a financial company website. Now, the calculators, they simply project their income based on mandated IRS distribution tables. Now, their plan was to hold off taking distributions until the mandated required minimum distribution age of 70. Now, according to their simple growth calculations and the required minimum distribution factor, they would get an income of $43,000 per year from the IRA. Got that? $43,000. Now, that would grow up with the required minimum distribution factor. That would grow up to about $80,000 when they were 85 years old. 85 years old, they get 80. They start at 43, and it kind of just grows up from there. That's how the required distribution tables work. It grows with your age. Now, when they shared this with their investment advisor connection, they shared this pre-work they had done. She, the investment advisor, validated the numbers and said that they could work with that. Wait a minute. What? Their plan called for distributions starting at $43,000 and rising over time based on the required minimum distribution table. Who does that plan benefit? Think about it. Who does that plan benefit? That plan benefits the Wall Street model. It benefits Wall Street. It obviously benefits the IRS, but it benefits the investment advisory model, right? The investment advisor gets the account, and then that account is milked slowly over time and keeps the assets under management and the fee revenue coming in. The IRS benefits no matter what because they get ongoing taxes. So the longer it gets stretched out, the longer they get to keep taxes, right? So my question to this couple was, did you save all of this 401k money so that you could live on the minimum amount in retirement and leave money to your kids? Did you save up all this money so you could get to retirement and say, I wonder what we could sacrifice. What could we cut back on? How could we pinch enough pennies to live on the minimum required distribution? Well, their answer, of course, was no. Heck no. In fact, they actually had a nice permanent cash value life insurance policy that they could leave to their kids. It's worth $500,000, and catch this, I love folks who were able to do this, and by the way, I had never met them before, so they hadn't even met me, so congratulations to whatever financial advisor they talked to somewhere in the past, right? The policy's worth $500,000 death benefit. The current cash value is worth much more than they ever put in. They're actually in an equity position. So I said, do you think you could spend the holy heck out of your IRA money, maybe even spend it to zero, and the kids would still be happy getting $500,000 tax-free from your life insurance? And their answer was a resounding yes. Our kids would be so happy with that. So then my response was, then why not consider just one option, transferring your 401k money to a guaranteed annuity so that at age 70, you start receiving a joint lifetime pension-styled income from a guaranteed annuity company. The guaranteed income from the annuity would be approximately, you ready for this? $85,000. Guaranteed to last as long as they both shall live. More than double the income in their required minimum distribution plans that the other investment advisor said, oh, that's a great plan. That's a good plan. We could work with that, right? So when would you want maximum retirement income? Wouldn't you want that $85,000 today, let's say now, starting retirement, instead of waiting until you're 85 when you don't know if your knees will work or not, right? More than double the income, and they can still enjoy the heck out of it while their knees and hips work. They can cruise and travel and walk and hike, have a lot of fun, and they don't have to wait all those years to get to the required minimum distribution amount equal to $85,000. Who does not benefit from my advice? My advice would be consider using a guaranteed income from an annuity when you're 70 instead of an investment account. My advice does not benefit Wall Street. It doesn't benefit Wall Street, right? So I get so excited about this stuff, right? If you want to get a different perspective on your retirement income planning, send me an email. Kraig@kraigstrom.com, retirement planning, subject line, let's talk. Because maximum retirement income does not happen by chance. You've got to have the right frame of mind, number one. You've got to have the right advisor that's not stuck with just a Wall Street only, or not stuck with just a life insurance or annuity only perspective. When these things all work together in the right balance at the right time, bam, that's when maximum income happens. Now, I want to finish with this one. I got a very, very tough call this week from a father dying of cancer. Now, this is a tough one for me on a number of levels, but mostly because my own dad died of cancer. My dad found out that he had cancer because his back was sore, And the doctor did some tests and said, sorry, it's not really your back that's sore for that reason. It's because you have cancer from your pancreas to your liver to your spine. You should say goodbye to your family and get everything in order. So cancer is a really close thing in my life, that it touches my heart. So when I got this call, it was tough, right? He had beat cancer. That's what the doctor said. He was clear last year. This year, the cancer came back with a vengeance and game over. There's no winning at this time. They're going to try, but he has resolved and understood, although his wife has not, he has resolved and understood that it's probably over. Now, he has a permanent life insurance, a cash value life insurance policy. Again, I'm so excited when I meet people that have these things in place and they've just done that. That's just, what a good man. I love that. So he has a permanent life insurance policy set up for his wife. So she's going to be okay. Good guy. He wanted to know, how does he leave his rollover retirement money to his 2 sons from his first marriage in such a way that they can't just blow it. They just can't spend it all. What could he do? So he went to the source of all knowledge, Google, and found some information about annuities. When he asked his investment advisor about annuities, they said, oh, no. You don't want those. You can't do that. You can't do that. If you roll over to the annuity, you're going to pay taxes on all that money that you put into the annuity. Oh, no. Don't do that. Bad idea. What did we just say? What did I just say just a moment ago, right? Just earlier. That Wall Street only investment people do not like things like guaranteed annuity, or for that matter, they don't like things like real estate because it takes money out of Wall Street, right? So what's the immediate reaction from the investment advisor? Oh, no, you don't want to do that. You're going to pay taxes on all that, right? Now, thankfully, this father and great husband did not feel comfortable with the investment advisor's advice or response, so he asked a friend who suggested talking to me. The investment advisor, in my opinion, flat out wrong. Of course you can roll over your IRA to an annuity. People don't understand most of the time that IRA is just an umbrella title. You can have an IRA that's an investment account. You can have an IRA that is an annuity. You could have an IRA that is a certificate of deposit at the bank. You could have an IRA that's self-directed and you invest in chinchilla farms if you wanted to, right? So now, can you see, again, where Wall Street's big bias is? Wall Street doesn't have any incentive to teach advisors to tell their clients about ways to move money out of Wall Street. In fact, they are often taught to say, that's a bad idea, right? I should know. That's what I heard when I was a young advisor in the business. So, what can this father do to keep this retirement money from just being, squandered away by his kids, just in case? Well, he could, if he wanted to, move the money to an annuity for each of his sons from his first marriage. It's a blended family. They would not be restricted, though, from spending the money after he dies. Now, he could also do something that is very unique. This takes a specialized approach, and I am fortunate to work with an awesome law firm and be a financial planner at the same time. This gentleman could also establish what is called an IRA beneficiary trust for each of his sons. Then the money goes into the trust, but he can build in some control, things like spendthrift control, to make sure that they can't just go after it and access it. We could also build in creditor protection and liability protection around it so that it couldn't be accessed by outside forces that might come after his son someday, right? My law firm sets up IRA beneficiary trusts for clients all the time. But I'll tell you what, It is rare that you meet financial advisors in the big picture, rare that they even know what that is. An IRA beneficiary trust is not something that is just typical Wall Street investment advice. It's not a typical financial advisor conversation. It is more of an advanced side of things. And I'm blessed to work with a great team, and I have a few years under my belt. So if you're interested, if you've ever wondered, how do you keep all of your IRA money safe from creditors and from your kids just squandering all your hard work, well, you talk to someone like me about establishing alternate ways to protect it. Again, Kraig at kraigstrom.com. Now, a little side note, right? How would this call have been different if this good man had followed Dave Ramsey's life insurance advice? Dave Ramsey says you don't need life insurance in retirement if you save up enough money. Well, under Dave Ramsey's plan, the term life insurance is gone by this man's age 66, right? It's gone. You don't need term life insurance anymore because you got plenty of money. How would this guy now be able to take care of his wife, second wife, and still secure the inheritance that he wants for his sons, right? He's still loyal to his first wife's kids. He loves his kids, right? How would he be able to balance the scales? He would not. I'll tell you that right now. He would need to earmark the IRA money as the de facto life insurance for his wife to make sure that she was okay, to make sure that she was protected. Hear what I said. If you don't have a life insurance policy to do the job of life insurance, you have to leave one of your assets to do that job. So the IRA money would have to become the life insurance for his wife to make sure that she's okay. You always have life insurance. You always have it, but when you don't have a permanent life insurance policy, your other assets have to do that job. So if this guy did not have permanent life insurance to protect his wife, I would have had to say, whoa, I suggest that the IRA money be left to your wife for her protection, and the sons would have to wait until stepmother dies to get the leftovers if there are any. Dave Ramsey's bad life insurance advice would have left this dying man with a very difficult decision. Thankfully, he never heard it, or he chose never to listen to that terrible advice. By the way, the permanent life insurance that he purchased has an equity position. That means that he has more cash value than he had ever paid in premiums. It's an equity asset. It is an asset on the family balance sheet. The death benefit is far greater than the cash value. Good man. I'm so excited to hear that. Now, my New Year's resolutions are many. Well, not many. There's a few of them. I want to help you get your living trust and estate plan and your powers of attorney and all that stuff in place. This man that I talked about just now, he had all that done. He's got all of it. We're going to update it, but it's done. He's got powers of attorney, trusts. He's got life insurance. He's got it all in place. Good for you. I love that. If you don't have your estate plan done, if you don't have your living trust, your will, your powers of attorney, and all of that done, I want to help you. I want to help you with a complimentary review of what you have and a complimentary assessment if you don't have anything. It is exactly that, complimentary, and I can help you with your life insurance planning. My firm does living trusts, and I happen to be a paralegal working with a great lawyer. I can help you with a discounted price on a phenomenal law firm full estate plan. If you're interested, send me an email, Kraig at kraigstrom.com, estate plan in your subject line. If you want to review your life insurance and you want to be a hero for a family and your family, get your life insurance updated, get your estate plan and everything connected properly. I can help. Love to hear from you. Folks, that's going to wrap it up. Once again, I get all excited when I do this show. I got to go take a nap. Yeah, right. I never take naps. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Personal Pension Radio podcast. We took notes for you, so if you missed any part of the show, you can find a full transcript of each episode at personalpensionradio.com. Be sure to download your free retirement income crisis report at personalpensionradio.com. While you're at it, we would appreciate some iTunes love. Please leave us a fantastic rating on iTunes by going to personalpensionradio.com/iTunes. Thanks again for listening. Now for the disclosure. Information presented is for educational purposes only and is not intended for solicitation, sale or purchase of any security or financial product. Be sure to first consult with a qualified financial advisor and your tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed here. The term personal pension refers to a marketing name designed to educate future retirees and retirees about the economic principles behind creating their own pension-like income. The term personal pension is not intended to be confused with a defined benefit pension plan offered by an employer or by a government entity.